Hi, I'm Gaye Nelson. I've been a delegate to 2 conventions. I'm a co-chair of the MOVE committee, which is Members Organizing Volunteer Efforts, and I am the chairperson of the Open Board Meeting Committee, which is to say I'm deeply involved in union service. I'm voting no on the proposed TV theatrical contract. A no vote does not mean a strike. It means it's not a good enough deal. I've been very offended, and I know many other people have, by these endless postcards screaming, vote yes. What about vote no? What about the other side? What about the pros and cons? We don't have any information. It's even more egregious this year because you have very little access to the other side of the issue, which hopefully you found your way here, so you're getting now. The wages and working conditions in our contracts have become weaker and weaker with every negotiation. Mostly, we are shamed for asking for what we deserve, and I don't think that's right. My friends have made some great videos here about all the many important issues. It's enough for me to vote no because of the addition of only one background slot in year 2 and horrible, not sufficient protections for sexual harassment. That's enough right there, but there are too many other reasons as well. The year on my union card is 1955. I've been a member for 65 years, since I was 3 years old, and I will be until my last breath. During most of my career, we had really strong contracts, and in the late 70s and 80s, I was able to be a health educator at Planned Parenthood for many years, something that I cared deeply about, for $5 an hour because I was supporting myself with residuals. I don't think I could do that now. I was born into show business. The Ann Nelson mezzanine at CBS TV City is named for my mother, Ann Nelson, who was the first woman executive in show business, and she worked at CBS for 64 years. She was vice president of business affairs, a contract negotiator. So I learned a few things about that growing up. My father was a guy named Harmon Oscar Nelson Jr. He was the original band leader at the Hollywood Roosevelt when it opened in the 30s, and he was later an advertising executive. Hollywood legend has it that his first wife, who's actually right over my shoulder back there, a little gal named Betty Davis, thought that the Academy Award statue looked like him, particularly when he was nude. So she started calling it her Oscar as a joke, and it was just a joke that stuck. You can Google it. For over 30 years, I made a living doing commercials, singing and dancing on variety shows, singing main titles for movies, doing voiceovers, and lots of different jobs on TV shows. Then I had a baby and got a divorce and decided to change careers. So I was a casting director for a few years in the 80s, so I have been on the other side of the desk. And then I became a professional astrologer, which I've done for over 30 years. I always paid full SAG-AFTRA dues, but I didn't do much acting for a while. Then in 2009, my daughter got into production, and she invited me to do background work, which I had never done before. So I jumped in, I loved it, and it let me be on sets where I had grown up, which I enjoyed so much, and I did qualify for more pension credits and health insurance. Since then, I've worked regularly in background. I spent 8 years on Criminal Minds as a BAU agent, and 6 years in the cafeteria scenes on The Big Bang Theory. Until the pandemic, I was playing a school administrator on the reboot of Saved by the Bell, and I hope to get back to that when it's safe to do so. My story is unusual because I had a great career as a principal, and now I happily do background work. It's all SAG-AFTRA work, and belonging to a union should mean more money and better working conditions with each contract, period. That's what a union is for. I'm voting no. We need a better deal. Please consider doing the same. Thank you so much for listening. Please inform yourself and vote as you think is right for you, but definitely vote. And at least consider voting no. Thank you so much for listening.